Good afternoon, fellow viewers. Welcome back to Easy Mathematics. This week, we are still looking at the numbers and the numeration system. Today, we want to look at rounding of decimals and numbers in decimal places and significant figures. Today, we'll start with the correcting decimal numbers to a given decimal place, or we say DP for short. Now, when you are being asked to correct a number to a given decimal place, you are going to start from the first number after the decimal point. So let's say we have correct 21.481 to 2dp. So this dp stands for decimal place. If you have to correct this decimal number to 2 decimal place, because it is a decimal place, we are going to start from the first number after the decimal point. After this decimal point, there is a 4. So our first number is 1, 2. Or say 2 decimal place. It says 2 decimal place. So 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places. So when you locate that number, then you check. The number here, is it more than 5 or less than 5? This number is less than 5. So we are going to maintain 8. So I'm going to say 21.481. Corrected to 2 decimal place will give me 21.48. So at the end, we are expecting to see only 2 numbers after the decimal point. Why are we expecting only 2 numbers? Because you have to round it or correct it to 2 decimal places. Let's say we have to correct 4.3572 to also 2 decimal places. So correct 4.3572. We have to correct this number to 2 decimal places. What do we have to do? You are going to start from the first number after the decimal point. So this is my decimal point. 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place. So it falls on the 5. Then I'll ask myself, the number close to the 5 on my right is 7. This number is more than 5. Because this number is more than 5, I'll add 1 to this 5, making 6. So if I correct this number to 2 decimal places, I'm going to have 4.3. Because this is more than 5, I'll add 1, making 6. We've seen that when we corrected this to 2 decimal places, we have 2 numbers. So we've rounded this number to 2 decimal places. Let's look at the third one. Let's say we have to correct 0.0342, also to 2 decimal places. Correct to 2 decimal places. So what are you going to do? Start right after the decimal point. So 0, this is point. 0 is my first decimal place, second decimal place. Now when you look at this 3, this being my second decimal place, the number here is less than 5. And if it is less, you maintain the number. So 0.0342. If I'm to correct it to 2 decimal places, I'm going to get 0.03. Why? Because the 4 is less than 5. So I will not add 1 to the 3, leaving my number like this. So when you have to correct a number to a given decimal place, you start counting after the decimal point. Let's say we are to leave our number to 3 decimal places. So we have leave 0.2835 to 3 decimal places. So we have 3 decimal places here. So we have 0.2835 to 3 decimal place. So 1 decimal place, 2 decimal places, 3. So these are 3 decimal place, falls on the number 3. Then we'll check. The number at this side is 5. If it is equal to 5, more than 5, you add 1. So because this is equal to 5, I'll add 1 to the 3, giving me 0.284. So when we correct or when we left this one in 3 decimal place, we have 3 numbers after the decimal point. Let's say we have leave 0.83472 to 4 decimal place. So we have to leave this in 4 decimal place to 4 decimal places. So we have 0.83472. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It falls on this number. Then we check. This number is 2. 2 is less than 5. So because 2 is less than 5, I'm going to correct it as 0.834. This 2 is less than 5. So I'm going to maintain my 7. 4 decimal place. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is how we correct a given decimal number into any given decimal place. Now let's look at significant figures. We can be asked to correct a decimal into any given significant figure. It can be 2 significant figures, 3, 4, and 5. Let's look at that for a decimal number. If you have 32.481 and you are to correct this number to 3 significant figures. So for significant figures, we use SF for short. So now, you have to correct this number to 3 significant figures or 3 significant figures. What you are going to do is that you are going to locate or start from the non-zero digit. What is a non-zero digit? A non-zero digit is a number that is not 0. So when you look at this number, our first number that starts is 3, and 3 is not 0. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3. This is my 3 significant figure. Then I'll check. This number is more than 5. So what do? I'll add 1 to the 4, making 5. So 32.48 to 3 significant figures will give me 32.5 to 3 significant figures. When it comes to the significant figures, you start from the first number that is non-zero. That is not 0. Now, I didn't replace these 2 numbers with 0 because after the decimal point, you don't need a 0. If you bring the 2 zeros here, to show maturity, we take off the zeros. Let's say I am to correct 0.04821 to 2 significant figure. When you are being asked to convert to 2 significant figures, what you are going to do is that for significant figure, it says that start from the first number that is not 0. Here, our first number is 0, so we can't start from this number. Why? Because it is 0. Then we go to the next number. The next number is also 0. So we can't start from there. So let's move to the next one. This number is 4. This means that this number is not 0. So to two significant figures, I'll start from here. 1, 2. So 0.04821. Significant figures start from non-zero. So 0, 0, I will start. So 1, 2. I started from the 8 because it is 2. 1, 2. Then I'll check. This number here is less than 5. That means I'm not going to add. This will give me 0.048. To two significant figures is this. So you can see a slight difference between the decimal place and the significant figures. For the decimal place, you start right after the decimal point. But for the significant figures, we are going to start from the first number that is not 0. So let's look at the next one. Let's say leave 0.00843 to 3 significant figures. We have to leave this number to 3 significant figures. So we have 0.0038435 to 3 significant figures. That means start from the number that is non-zero. So this is 0. I will not start from there. 0. I won't start. 0. I won't start. The next number is 3. It is not 0. So I'll start from here. 1, 2, 3. So it fell on the 4. I'll compare this number to 5. This number is less than 5. So I'm not going to add 1. Therefore, I'm going to maintain the 4. So to 3 significant figures, I'm going to get 0.00384 to 3 significant figures. So when it comes to significant figures under decimals, you are going to start from the number that is non-zero. Let's take a last example under decimals. Let's say correct 0.056778. Also to 3 significant figures. So 0.056 to 3 significant figures. The first number that is not 0. So I'll start from 5. 1, 2, 3 is on 7. Then I'll compare. This number is more than 5. So I'll add 1 to this, giving me 8. So I'm going to get 0.056. 8. Why 8? I added 1 from this to this. So I'm going to change the rest to zeros. But you don't write the zeros, leaving it there. Let's look at that for whole numbers. When we are to correct two significant figures, whole numbers. Let's say we are to correct to 3 significant figures. You have 482, 481. To 3 significant figures. Start from the first number that is not 0. So this is 4. It is not 0. So I'm going to start. 1, 2, 3. To 3 significant figures. So it is this number. The number close to the 2 at this side is 4. 4 is less than 5. So I'm going to maintain 482. Because this is a whole number, I'll change these 3 numbers to zeros. Why? Because this is a whole number. So when it comes to significant figures in whole numbers, you replace the remaining digits with zeros. Let's say we have leave 3, 4, 9, 3, 2, 2. Also, let's say 4 significant figures. So we have 4, 3, 4, 5, 9, 3, 2, 4. 4 significant figures. The first non-zero digit. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it fell on the 9. The number close to the 9 on my right is 3. 3 is less than 5. So I'm going to get 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to add 1 to the 9 because this is less than 5. So I'll maintain the 9 and I'll change the remaining digits to 0 because it is a whole number. Okay, so when you are being asked to round a given number into significant figures, this is how we do it. See you next week, Friday, and bye-bye.